everybody is give me your first and last name, and then spell your first and last name for me.
Okay, first name is Theodore Ector. First name is spelled Theodore. My last name is spelled Ector, Ector.
Mr. Ector, once upon a time, you were a fireman. How old were you when you took the job, and did you know what you were getting into when you took it?
No, I didn't know what I was getting into, but I was 25. I came on the job in April, the first, and I turned 25 in May the 16th.
Why did you take the job? I mean, what made it attractive to so many people?
To me, it was money.
Okay, give me a complete sentence on that. I took the job because.
I took the job because of I wanted better pay. Just a better salary, and it wasn't. It was a good opportunity too, for me to take the job because it was a step up, and yeah.
Okay, now did you have a family? What were you doing before then?
When I was working at a place called Raylock, where we built automobile parts, like brake shoes and stuff like that, Master Cylinders. So it was a pretty good job, but it wasn't like the fire department. The fire department, I started on the fire department, making $138 a month. Yeah. That's why I took it. Out there, the rate like I was hardly making, we were probably making about maybe 90 cents. That's right, an hour.
Wow.
Yep. So
How could you raise a family? How could you pay bills?
I wasn't married at the time. I was single, wasn't married, and I was also just living. I was at home, living at home at the time, so I didn't have an apartment to pay, no rent to pay, or anything. So I was made pretty good, but it wasn't like the fire department.
Yeah. Now, when you went down to apply for the job, did you know that you had a lot of competition?
Yes, I knew it. We had a lot of competition. I knew, because I knew a lot of people who applied for the job. People I went to school with, and I grew up with too. But that's because I stayed in this neighborhood around here, the same neighborhood really, and so I knew a lot of people who applied for it. But I was lucky enough to come out, be on the list.
Well, it wasn't luck. That sounded like that list just put you through some. It made you jump through hoops.
Yeah, it did, and especially when they called me, told me to come to school. I was really surprised then. But another thing too, when we went to school, I think it was in August, and when we got out of school, we didn't start to work at the time, and but we worked. We didn't start in 8 months later. I think it was 8 months later, in April, next April. And all the white kids went to school. Well, we had two groups, and I went to training up there. So they had a white group, and all 16, 16 black. They had more than 16 blacks that training, but them was 16 making it. And after that, the funniest thing about it wasn't funny about it, but it was sad thing to me was chief of the department came up and he told us at school out there, said, "We don't want you in Norway, but we had just got to hire you." He said, the people who are in the white class, the lowest one will be ahead of the first, of all of you blacks, no matter how they come out. And, that's what happened. We came. That means they got seniority over us. They got pay that we didn't get. So that was it.
Now, when he told you this, was he telling you this individually?
No,
No.
it's a group.
Give me a complete sentence on that.
He was telling us that's a group. We said, well,
You can talk to us.
yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, he was telling us that, the whole class of black and white was in the class out there at the training center. And before we started the class, training class, so he just came out and told us, we don't want you in Norway. But we got to hire you. But what he wasn't thinking about when he said this was, that actually, there was gonna be more blacks behind us. He didn't realize that. So, and he, told the captains and chiefs at the station, and, all the officers tried to run us off by working us hard, making us do everything, so, that didn't work either. Matter of fact, it helped us really.
How did it help you?
As far as class, we had a lot of class at the time, every day, that's about all, 2 or 3 times a day, and even up in the night, we had classes. But what happened was, at the time, they had underwriters, you'd come around to the station, check all the cities, and, this station always came out on top. Because of that, because of all that training, they didn't hurt us at all, it really helped us.
When you realized how hard it was gonna be, why didn't you quit?
But, no, I wasn't gonna quit. Matter of fact, the first fire went on, and I wondered then, I said, what in this? Excuse me, but I was curious, what have I gotten into? But after that first fire, maybe a couple more, then I was okay then. And gotten used to it, but it was kind of rough when we first started. Well, we had good officers at the station, though, to be frank with you. But the problem we had was, at the other station, the firefighters and officers at the other station. But this station, we had good officers, so we didn't have no problem.
So all the officers, tell me about the racial makeup of officers and workers.
Well, everyone, but they had, each shift, we'd have 2 shifts when we first started. So each shift had a, captain and lieutenant, and the 2 drivers, white drivers. And, also, he had a sergeant, used to come at the time, they had a sergeant. And, when in the time that, I want officers off, instead of us, riding the seat, they would bring the sergeant over, let him ride the seat. So that's the way it worked.
Were there any officers that were black back then?
Oh, no.
Okay, so give me a sentence on that.
No, it wasn't, you didn't have any black officers. It was quite a while for
Okay,
me.
wait, say that again. You had to wait for that door to close. Okay.
No, we didn't have any black officers at the time. It was quite a while before we had any black officers. Matter of fact, they told us, we had about lieutenant position, he said it'll take about 15 years to make officer. But it really didn't take that long because, we had a suit in. We formed this group called Brothers Combined. So that helped us a lot there. We was able to get 2 officers out of that, was Frank Bolden and James Maddox. So that helped us.
Now, when we talk about what you had to do and how you had to bond, was it a forced situation? You guys are as different as rain as dirt. Every single one of you have a different personality coming up in here and a different story. We'll let those guys go through. Okay. We'll let that door close there, okay. But did this situation bond you together?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. It did. We just like a family, really. We at the time, the way we worked at the time, we
Okay, go ahead.
we were together more actually than we were at home working here because we worked like when we first started like 5 days, then you were off for 24 hours. And you might come back in like on a Saturday, a half a day on Saturday. Then on Sunday the same thing. We might come in a half a day, but we was like on the Ouija board. We had a Ouija board. We was off in groups. So
Okay, go on.
we was off in groups, and
Well, you might as well just give it a second so they can pull out.
Oh, they're pulling out? Okay.